Hello everyone, a bit of Sims 4 news to share with you this afternoon. Number one, a patch was released today, and with that new patch came a bunch of bug fixes as well as it looks like 3 new scenarios. So what's new in the new scenarios? Well, learn about friends, careers, and family life with the new welcome scenarios. 3 new scenarios with more complexity, pre-made households, and special rewards depending on the outcome you've reached. New in town, stuck in their shadows, and parenting predicaments. New in Town focuses on learning about relationship making with the newest arrival in the town. Farah Nouvelle, stuck in their shadow, features Nova Curious and her rival Lewis in their longtime fight to be top dog at work. And Parenting Predicaments is all about family with Pablo and Jennifer and their adorable twins. So these to me kind of sound like scenarios meant for newer players. A lot of the scenarios kind of feel like they are scenarios for the newer players. And if you look here, you can see them on the scenarios tab in The Sims 4. This one is the Curious household. This one is the Novelle household. And this one is the Martinez Parenting Predicaments. Yeah, they all look like beginners. So basically to me, what they read like is almost tutorial scenarios, like getting you started in the game. For instance, if we click on the parenting predicament here and we pick a place to live, let's just do my favorite place, Newcrest. And then here are the scenario details. 2 happy-go-lucky young parents are at a loss for what to do with their rambunctious, unruly children. Can they cultivate the right environment for their children to thrive and support their children towards becoming teenagers on the right track? And the rewards are retraining potion and then a mystery bonus reward. So potential outcomes: raised responsible teenagers, raised wild teenagers. Leonardo overachieves, Sophia slacks off, Sophia overachieves, and Leonardo slacks off. So that's kind of the details of the scenario. And then right here it has a list of things apparently that you need to buy for them. And then right here it has a list of things you apparently need to buy for them. Presumably once you've bought all these things, then it moves on to your next set of tasks that you have to follow, and so on and so forth. And then if we click on stuck in their shadows and we head back to Newcrest again, scenario details: Nova Curious was one of the best programmers in college and nothing will stop her from shining at a new job. Well, someone might. Lewis, top programmer in her class, who overshadowed her during their uni years. Now that she wants to start her own professional life, there's no way she'll bump into him again, right? So it sounds like they'll be working in the same career track. I'm guessing that means she's... Oh no, she's not. So you have to join the career track for her. You have to get a laptop. Again, it gives you a list of things to do right here. And then if we click on New in Town and we go to Newcrest again, then you have moving to a new place can be scary, especially if you don't know anyone there, but it can also be a great adventure. Help Farah explore her new home, make some friends, and throw a moving in party that will be the talk of the town. So to me, it looks like you would play New in Town scenario first, and then maybe Stuck in Their Shadows second. Like you start with moving a new sim in. Then you start with learning about moving up in careers, and then you go on to parenting. So to me, these kind of look like almost tutorial scenarios, how to play the game in a way, if you will. And then if we move down to bug fixes, we have quite a few here actually. There are a lot. So for base game, plant sims can move items from their inventory without issues now. Camera movement on Mac is more responsive, especially for those running Monterey. Sorry, I'm not a Mac user. Some instances of incorrect pronouns have been resolved, so when the game called Grace a he, I have run into that issue. When was that on the Legacy? I think that was on the Legacy play. So my Legacy matriarch was referred to as he in some instances of text notifications. So it sounds like they fixed that. Her pronouns are she and her. So we clarified some scenario goals. Text for scenarios with existing households also is more accurate. Limited time scenarios show that they are time limited again and end at the proper time. So it sounds like they were having a bit of trouble with scenarios. Scenarios info pop-ups now have a link to lessons so you can learn more about them, which we saw. I did not click on any of them though, but we saw that there was that button there to press. Lessons for scenarios have new images. Scenarios no longer immediately complete when starting a second scenario in the same saved game. The events and scenarios details panels no longer are blank when double clicking their button for information. We made some small interface improvements for scenarios. For example, when selecting an existing household for a scenario, the button to configure neighborhood stories no longer appears. In the My Household tab, households with active scenarios no longer have a purple heart icon, while neighborhood stories are inactive. Lots of scenario stuff here, so they must have been having a lot of problems with scenarios. The scenario bubble no longer overlaps with the sidebar for some resolutions, which is nice because I think I was having that problem way back a little bit towards the end of when I was attempting to do the making money challenge, which I failed, by the way. I quit that let's play because I more or less failed it. It was taking her way too long with the, you have to go watch it, but it was taking her way too long and it was too frustrating, so I essentially failed. The engaged in conflict scenario no longer repeats the second dot goal. Scenario perfectly well-rounded has the goal to reach level 3 in any skill, which now can be completed. Color swatches for back hair now appear in the standard order, and images for stuff you might like in the main menu now display at the proper ratios for all game resolutions. So lots of scenario fixes there. Let's move on to some other stuff because those are kind of some of the things that I would know more about and have heard more from the community about specifically high school stuff. So we'll get to that in a second, but get to work. No more goofing off on the job. Doctors no longer T-pose while performing surgery. We just experienced this in the Legacy let's play that I am doing, where the doctor stopped for a moment, T-posed, and then Grace kind of flipped and was kind of going through the doctor and then flipped back to lying on the table while she was giving birth. It was a bit of an odd thing. I'm not even sure it fully made it into the video, but it did happen. Alien toddler's legs now stay visible while applying outfits in Create a Sim. I've never played with aliens ever, which is something I hope to do in my long haul Legacy, and so I'm glad they fixed this now. I would love to have an alien toddler someday. I didn't even know it was possible. Okay, this is the one, high school years, because this is like, high school years has been majorly broken. So graduating Sims who arrive late to the event now change into their graduation gown, and all graduates stay in their gowns during the the event. This is a big moment, so dress the part. Early graduates now receive their diploma and no longer are erroneously told that they are dropping out. That's probably a good thing to fix. Detention was a smidge harsh. Sims no longer indefinitely study for exams when in detention. Okay. Sims with low fitness skill succeed with the football toss more often. The team practice pop-up no longer references a non-existent crush. I'm not sure what that is about, but I have experienced some weird things that are sort of similar to that while playing the game recently, so hopefully it fixed that also. I'll get into it in a second, but business plan objects in the inventory now can be scrapped if you want to clear up some inventory space. If you love to store clutter, feel free to keep them around. The social bunny contact button now always stays visible for your Sims who have friends. A few facial hairs were growing from stubble straight to full beards. They now grow more incrementally. That's nice. Facial hair, so it looks like a couple of facial hairs. Wait, what? The facial hair now can be clean shaven. Razors were adjusted to catch this short stubble. Okay, so it sounds like some shorter stubble hair was not being shaved, which I think I also experienced once, but I just thought it was a feature. I didn't realize that it was a bug. Bottom pants, skinny calf pants now only display once and create a sim. Okay, I've seen a couple of that happen here and there as well before. The sunlight in Copperdale is less intense. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the lighting in Copperdale, and to be honest with you, it didn't bother me. I didn't mind it. Let's go take a look at Copperdale. So I'm not sure if they actually fixed it on the world page or not. It kind of sounds like maybe they fixed it on the actual lots. So let's go into one of the lots. This is one of the few lots that I've played with on here. So it's morning. Okay, I do kind of see the difference a little bit, but to be honest with you, I didn't hate it the other way. In fact, this kind of looks a little bit just generally darker to me, not as bright and sunny as it was before. Now that could just be my computer screen, I don't know, but it didn't bother me before. Maybe I'm weird. I'm looking specifically at this because I spent a little bit of time in my long haul legacy checking that little area out. I really liked it, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's a big difference and I just don't pay attention to the shadows and stuff, so, or maybe it just wasn't that bad and didn't bother me. I guess it's one of those personal choice things, and we don't have a before and after to look at to really put them together to see the dramatic difference, so maybe that could be it as well. But yeah, I don't really see much of a difference, and it didn't really bother me before anyways. Again, personal preference. Engaging in a pillow fight with Sims you do not know no longer is deemed acceptable. At least say hello first. Makes sense. The shadow for the single serve hammock now appears correctly under the chair. High school years now appears only once in the pack section of the main menu. Missing images for items on the high school years pack page have been found. They now display properly, and Sims will correctly direct their prom invites to the Sim they intended to ask, not the Sim currently controlled by the player. Sim phone usage has been tamped down. Teens will still use the phone more often. Okay, that's nice, at least, because Sims always had their phones out like constantly. I'm noticing that there are not a lot of other fixes that people have been really complaining about. There's some weird bugs that were supposedly supposed to be fixed in the last patch, and according to some of the community on Twitter, have not been fixed. Sims wanting to date children and toddlers, getting wants and stuff to ask them out. And I don't know that these are necessarily bugs or if it was just kind of lazy planning, but I know that a lot of people are bothered by the fact that adult Sims, you're basically forced to use the Social Bunny app, and everybody posts the same like 4 or 5 messages over again, and it's just really weird to have adult or elderly Sims posting about pillow fights and who they're gonna sit by in the cafeteria at lunchtime and random things like that that were clearly meant for teenagers. But yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints about that kind of stuff, and so far it's looking like it's not getting changed or fixed. Some of those things might be features or lazy planning kind of thing within the game. We made for vampires, we made some pronoun related bug fixes thanks to community report. For Parenthood, more pronoun fixes. For Dream Home Decorator, Sims now can add rooms for room addition gigs. And then Bust the Dust. Bust the Dust visual effects no longer appear when the dust system is turned off. Okay, so those are all the bug fixes and the new scenarios. What do you think? What are some of the bugs that you've been experiencing? Let me know down in the comments. And what are some things you would like to see changed in the game that probably won't, but like me, the Social Bunny app and the fair, the new little carnival fair thing they have, where it's not at all tailored to adult or elderly Sims for the messages that pop up for the rides and stuff. So, or for that matter, Sims that are in a relationship already versus Sims that are not, which is a little bit weird. But what have you noticed weird going on in the game, and what would you like to see changed or bugs fixed? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!